Hey YouTube, this is Team Phantasmal here, coming at you with another Refrain Reflect deck profile. The one I posted earlier was kind of like the version of the deck that was kind of like based off of a Scheherazade deck, which was pretty old. This is kind of like the newer version. I've done really good with this deck. I've never lost with this deck. Like I think the closest I was ever to losing was I went into game 3 one time. But other than that, I've always 2-0'd with this deck. But with the new Moonlit Savior support and stuff, I'm probably not going to do that anymore because all the new support is insane. Everything is really powerful and strong. So let's just get straight into it. Obviously, our ruler is Refrain Reflect. I still think he's very, very strong. I feel like people after the errata, they just kind of like I don't know. Whenever there's a change in a card game, everybody just seems like, oh, it's not the same anymore, so it's not as good. But I still think he's really, really good. I think he's still one of the best. I think there's other things that can compete with him now, but yeah. So you guys know what it does by now. Yeah, it's a really good card. I like it a lot. So it's the ruler, and then onto the stones. I play 4 deep wood, green, blue, and then pardon me, 4 gusting skies for the green, yellow. And then lastly, 2 green black. Initially, I don't play anything that's black in the actual main deck, but I play stuff on the side that requires black, and I would just play 2 basic magic stones of wind otherwise, so it doesn't really matter putting this in, because otherwise you would just really be wanting these 2, and then just having these in is just whatever. So yeah, those are that, and then onto the main deck. Resonators, big resonator lineup. I think most of the decks resonator. I think like over 30. I'm not sure, but anyways. 4 Elvish Priest, just your mana ramper, and then more mana ramp is 4 Gretel. Obvious, it's pretty standard in a green deck. 4 Familiar Holy Wind, one of the best 1-drops in the game, and then probably one of the best draw in the game. 4 Cheshire Cat. Pretty much this is what gets everything going right here is all this stuff, right? All the 1-drops, get out your combos and stuff. Some of you may already like see a pattern in this deck because this deck is based off of Japanese regionals and stuff. I've changed it to like my liking. Like I've seen like lots of different ways that it's played. But I based this off of a Japanese regional. The guy got 3rd place. I just like the idea of his deck, and then I just made it my own. So yeah, and then for Adam Brawley, this card is the best card out of TCW in my opinion. Just nuts. Without this card, this deck would not function the way it does. So yeah, he's insane. And then 3 Morgiana. This is just so you get like if you guys ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, you just get like a pot of duality effect where you like look at the top 3 and you get to add 1. So, and it's continuous, so you can keep doing it over and over again, which is like ridiculous. So then, even when you do a Don Brawley's effect to get a draw, you can do this instead as well if you have her on the field, which is just, oh, it's pretty nuts. And then 3 Gwyber. I didn't want to play a 4th one just because I felt like I would see it too much. I didn't want to brick with it. Because like early on is when you're getting out your guys and growing really fast, and then later game is when you got your board established and everything, and you're not really bringing out as much stuff because everything's already out on the board. So, and then 2 Sinbad. A lot of people cut him down to 1 or cut him all together. He is still one of my favorite cards in the game. I just think his art's amazing, and I love his effects. I love the diversity this card has. So I still play it at 2. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably something else you could play instead, but you can definitely cut this to 1 if you wanted to. I just am a big fan of this card, so yeah, that's why I play 2 of it. And then 2 Hera. Just get rid of Regalias, and then you get to draw cards, so I don't know, this card's really good. Another really good card of the TTW. And then 2 Wind Sprite. This makes it so you can like turn 2 Gwyber pretty much. That's pretty much the only purpose it is there for. It's just turn 2 Gwyber, which is really strong. And then 1 card of the new set I'm playing is Valentina Puppet Monarch. I think it's necessary in any deck, and especially in this game you can do that. have a little bit of surprise for your opponent. I like to have this as a surprise for my opponent so that I can search it out with Refrain Reflect and then just drop it on my opponent and then try to go for a game from there. So get rid of something problematic, get it into my possession, and then go ham from there. So I think it's necessary to have like surprise stuff in a game, you know. So people like nobody would be expecting this. Me like like after game 1, if I never played it, I could just play this game 2 and they're like, oh my god, I'm not prepared for this or whatever, right? Just having that surprise factor is pretty good. And then for Change the World, I was playing 2 at first and I felt like it was fine. Bumped up to 4 just because I was taking stuff out. I don't know. I usually side some out if I'm playing something hard, but yeah, 4 is fine. Like people always usually play 4, I think. But then to Alice's World, Force World had a ban list. This card needs to be banned because it's just really dumb. Yeah, just if you don't know what it does, it lets me take another turn. So yeah, pretty sort of right there. That's like on the verge of being broken. And then Sprint to the Beast Lady for a push for game kind of thing. And this I've made games end a lot quicker because of this card, which is really great. So yeah, search it out with Refrain Flex. So it's like whatever. And then side really quick through One Horn of the Sacred Beasts. If you guys are aware of like the newer stuff, I think this is gonna be good against like Yggdrasil decks because games are gonna take longer with Yggdrasil no matter what. I can't imagine a way of a game going fast in Yggdrasil. So just excuse me, shuffling all your stuff back and resetting your deck is good. And then a Death Scythe for like swiftness rulers and fast stuff. And then Alice, if I want to go for a more control route, then I have a fast-paced, go a little bit more control on my opponent, then set that in. Holy Wolf and Dreamer Juliet, they kind of serve both the same purpose. This one has more diversity, but they're mostly both played for destroying additions and problematic cards like that. So, and then another Hera if they're playing like a lot of Regalia, a big Regalia deck. Yeah. And then Speaker Creation, it lets me search out my addition fields, so I can like search out the other card I'm siding, which is the Jeweled Branch or something, the Jeweled Branch of Horai. This card is funny as hell and so much hate. And then this card searches out Alice's World as well, and another card that I'm siding, which is Barrier of what? Barrier of Shadows, which is really good as well. So this searches out a lot of cards in this deck, and then it can also destroy addition fields as well, so that's good. And this guy is just like hate for Fire Dark decks, so it's just like pay 1, rest up to 2. I love how it says up to 2, so it's amazing. And then I play a third Alice World if like I said, I want to take a more control route in the game, if I feel like I need to. And then 2 Barrier Shadows. This again is for decks that rely heavily on Regalia and a deck that like relies a lot on a J Ruler or whatever. I think those are going to go into decline a little bit more, but I still think this is like really good against Lapis and stuff. Then 2 Realm of Pure Spirits. This card is just good in general, just making it so you can't target my stuff. So it gives me more time to like set up my field if I need more time. Like I said, more of a control route. And then lastly, 2 Susanoo, just in case my opponent's playing like Gwyber like me. So this is really good in the mirror match. So people like wouldn't expect this, especially in this deck. So yeah, Susanoo is really good. Yeah, that's the Refrain Reflect deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like this deck is really, really good, and I've done really good with it. Recently, I went locals, and I went 6-0. So I went 3 rounds. I 2-0'd everybody. So, yeah, I like this deck. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and a comment if you have any questions, and Team Phantasmal out. Thanks.